Well, all right. Let me just make sure I get the sound correct before I get started. Been a little while. Oh, come on now. There we go. Testing, testing. Today we're going to be working on a pendant. Not necessarily this one, but this is kind of an example of what I've been learning these last couple of days, or a few days. And I really like the way this one came out. So I started out with the top here, got lengths of wire about that long or so, bound the middle of them together, then bound the remainder wire to rings, had them come together in the middle there, back up to the top. So a nice simple pendant. Anyone can do something like this. It's not complicated, but so I'm going to take what I've learned from this one here, which I didn't do so well. This is the bottom of it. I forgot to put that in the video, but it's just it's just not very clean. It's not very uniform, but a beautiful crystal. I wish I didn't do such a bad job, but that's how I learned how to do this one much cleaner, by having the bottom come to the top instead. And then, of course, there's the other one I made recently. This cute little doodad. This is a rendition of my signature from the trees that I used to make. In fact, I probably have a tree within reach. Let me just get that real quick. There's one of my old signatures. There we go. Ring with it tied in the bottom there, with then some smaller wire to do the branches on the outside. And then this one, I just went ahead and used the wires instead. But all right. So what I've learned is I need a way to connect the bottom. Is that the problem I had with this one is that the end was at the bottom. So this one, I'm going to put this at the bottom and the ends at the top. So we'll grab, I think it was this one. This one's a little wider than the others. And let's make a sort of a harness for this guy. And I'm thinking I'm going to have it come to a V like that. And then I'm going to mark where to bend it up vertically. But first we're going to flatten out that middle wire there. It's a little flat. But that's mostly just to have it hold its shape. Right, so we're going to have that V in the middle there. Oh, I've grabbed the wrong stuff. Put that over there. All right, and now I'm gonna take a marker. Where's my marker? Oh, it's in my drawer. Really? Oh, it's such a pain to move this thing. Oh, it's because this big heavy thing's up. There we go. All right. Marker going. Oh my gosh. Somebody busted my marker. And at least it still works, I guess. Ah. All right, let's see if we can't successfully make that bend upward. I also wonder if I should just solder this. Let's go ahead and solder this just to make myself feel good about it and to add the solder to the video. So we want it to be just like that. No, we're gonna 86 the solder. It's too I need more flexibility. Let's see. Oh, right. Let's get some music going. That worked out all right. good. Guess the audio's not good. You can barely hear me. Let's try that. That's a little better. Great. One more. There it is. All right. I'd say that's pretty good. All right. So far, so good. God damn it, is this... It is the right one. Sorry, I'm just making the harness a little tighter. Alright, worry about the finer details when we get to them, I guess. so the goal is to get this, is to get these, do I get my stones online? Actually, no, this one is, I bought online, yeah, or not, excuse me, this one I bought at a store, and there are plenty that I do buy online, but, you know, crystals like these, where they're like cut like that, like this one here. I actually cut that one myself on my table. Up to you. How's it going, man? My voice is gone today, so probably won't be able. Probably won't be easy to understand for a moment. All right. But yeah, but things like this that I cut myself with the with my cutting table. I wish I could go and focus. I wasn't able to do the video for the crystals on this camera here because it just won't focus and stay focused. You know, things like that. At any rate, let's continue. So now I've marked where I want to hold the pliers. I'm thinking I'm gonna just go into the... Nothing much, life could be better. Hells yeah, man, I feel that. So I'm thinking I'm going to... I really should probably solder that thing. Okay. Huge stones. Most of my stones are roughly the same size as when they started. I try to keep as much of the stone as I can. Here, let's pick up a new one here. There's another really cool one. So say, here we go. This is a good example. This is the one I'm going to cut next. You can see where I cut, you know, the blue lines is where the crystal is going to be. So I only have so little left to go before I move on to the next thing. There's a lot here, but I also might turn it into a triangle there instead of just flat. It's just there's not a lot of stone there, so I'm gonna have to, you know, be careful not to have too much stone to cut away, or whatever you want to call it. I would have to probably make it flat anyway. But yeah, it's a you know, crystals like these started out fairly the same size as when I started. Let's see if I can. But I really like the insides of crystals. Tall, chunky crowns. I'd say after you take away all the money that I spent that I didn't actually need to spend, I'd say 1,000 is a very good estimate, because if you fall short, you could probably still get started. But I started out by buying my $300 machine, And then I bought the laps, which are about $30 each. And then I found out I didn't need so many. I used about three of my lapidaries, which are these things here. Which are these things here. Grinding plates, where the arm goes. There's the arm there. So this is on a like a thing, and you put it on the thing, and then it swings back side to side. There we go. Anyway, let's continue. I think we're gonna solder those, so I'm gonna grab my stuff. Yeah, I even got things like table saws. Actually, the table saw is pretty useful. But I was getting things like polishing tools, things like that. And I realized that I actually, unless you're willing to spend like $10,000, there's really not a lot of things that you need to get. Like my table is so simple; it doesn't even have a dial on how fast it goes. So all of the polishing tools that requires a slower speed don't even do me any good. So it's like I invested a shit ton of money in things that I really didn't need, and I even probably spent too much money on crystals too. I just don't know how to do it without, I just don't know where to go other than Amazon to get rough crystals, at a decent price. Just putting some flux in the weave there. Alright, let me take a look. I'd say that's about as good as I can think. I really plan to make full armor and incorporate stones in them. Hey, yeah! Man, that's like my life dream, is to make a full suit of armor with all my accumulated knowledge. So I'd like to do in animes and stuff, so I'm learning welding and shit. Yeah, dude, yeah. Fucking... I live in just a small apartment, so even hammering the small amount of times I hammer is a real pain. But if I ever get a garage, I want to do smelting stuff. I want to make rings like traditionally. All right, so what direction can I do this in that it won't burn anything? I got pretty damn close. But look up ring mail, dude. Ring mail. It's washers and chain links. You don't need to weld. You don't need to nothing. You know, there's already the measurements of the chain and the measurements of the washers. You know, you can just get a big box of washers and a long chain and make these like really freaking awesome things. I want to do it soon, but I can't afford it right now. I'm just working with what I've already got. But definitely look up ring mail. It's so freaking cool. Let's see if I can do this. I don't know a damn thing about welding or whatever you call it, soldering. Or at least I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. Damn it. God damn it. Damn it. Almost. 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 Just freaking absorb into the wire and we'll be good. Don't fall. Just do it already. Boom! Almost there. Do it! Yes! Perfect. I hope it's perfect. Oh, there's a little droplet on the bottom, but I can file it down. So, that really is going to really freaking help. Let's just wait for it to cool down. So awesome. Let me get something to wash it with and some more chocolate milk. I'll be right back. I just realized that I turned up the music. Are you able to hear me all right? iced chocolate milk. Oh, you're good, as in the sounds. Awesome. The damn rag. I found one. Shit. No wonder it's so heavy. There's more metal inside. Okay. Well, I'm glad that didn't take off the permanent marker. Thinking about posting my creations again. I figure I'd wait until I'm making more advanced pieces. Handmade creations are okay, but personally they just aren't good enough to showcase. You know, and I definitely I understand your position there. It would be a way of getting a sort of a following to be more motivated to do more stuff. Now, I'm kind of coming in again from not being online for a long time, but part of the reasons I'm starting to post my stuff again is because I think I can actually finish them. You know, I made this in about 2-3 hours. I think that I'm kind of going a little slow making this thing, but I'm also kind of experimenting while I'm going. Brian King, what's up, man? Making a new pendant. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna get my file, which is around here somewhere. There it is. I found it. Miss you. Hope everything is good with you. It is. I've for the most part. I mean, kind of crippling debt, but I'm making a pretty big payment today anyway. Just got to go to the ATM and pull my whole paycheck out. How are things with you? Damn. I think I just... Oh, at least I didn't cut myself. We're just filing the drop of solder that formed at the bottom there. I want that to be flat. Oh boy. Been well, not good. Prescription issues. You know how it is. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I've got a doctor's appointment. I haven't even done my blood work yet. I'm gonna have to like reschedule once I get my blood work done because I don't think it'll be enough time before my doctor's visit. They put me on Ozempic, which has been a miracle medication for my diabetes, but it's only name brand. So it's my insurance requires I pay the copay. Damn. Yeah. That's a big problem. It looks like I need to change my dots. I've already come into a problem here. My dilemma is that I didn't think about how if I pinch these things closed, then there would be maybe I don't need to have them go into the middle there. Maybe I'll just have them go over the top. It's like dangling a bird in front of a starving man just out of reach. Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm eternally grateful that all of my stuff is taken care of through Ryan White Foundation. I wonder. Yeah, let's make the next step before I go snipping wires and whatnot. Yeah, it's certainly certainly more fortunate than most. You know, despite the AIDS. I'm probably putting way more wire than I need. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I am. Oh. All right. Yeah, that's like half a car payment there. Excuse me. Yikes. I almost broke a nail. Do what work you can as much as you can. Still have gaping hole in my toe, which is fairly limited. Yeah, that sounds like it would. Have you tried any? Oh, sorry. Excuse me. That's not what I mean. Oh. Tried every charity, every foundation, every discount code. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm $1,200 in debt with my rent. Pretty pretty crushing. I know what you mean. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is enough. Just glad to see you, man. I really do miss you. YouTube has turned into a cesspool of and assholes. Just want to ruin people's lives. Yeah, you know, I even have a community strike because I don't even know what I said, but YouTube is all like, "Oh, you have a community strike. It's a permanent strike. You know, if I ever get another one again, then I'll be banned for life. I'll just delete my channel." I don't even know what I was saying, you know, and I certainly can't speculate while I'm on a live stream. It's very frustrating. I definitely wish there was a better platform out there. Ah. Yeah, they deleted the video, so I couldn't even go and look at it. It was a live stream. And of course, you know, the appeal didn't go through. You know, the appeal was denied. Very frustrating. Yeah, that would be a whole lot of work I'm just not willing to do. Very good. Got a couple backup channels that I'm working on. All right, let's grab my hammer again. completely dead. Now it's just tons of fake auditors. You heard about New York, didn't you? That's Sean Reyes, First Amendment. What's his name? Long Island audit. Oh, really stuck to those police stations in New York. Made it to where they had to pull the signs down and stuff. It's just tons of fake auditors for ad revenue. It's disgusting. As people moved on to the drama troll community, which has gotten so. Most people moved on to the drama troll course. Oh, there's certainly those drama troll communities like Broader or whatever. There's actually a number of them. I used to watch one called Degeneration Nation, and I popped into a video one day and I saw you there. I was like, oh wow, it's Brian King. And I just everybody's got their spot, you know, in the argument. Let me move these aside. I've taken a liking to channels that feature auditing channels, so that I see multiple audits that have been edited down to the good parts. And though I might have to endure a little bit of their commentary, I still sometimes find it a little bit worthwhile. Long Island audit is a fraud. All he cares about is money. Didn't get to make positive changes. He did it for the 50 plus more subs. Add to his channel. But that's a good thing though, spreading the message that the New York police stations have been violating our First Amendment right about filming in stations. And it didn't even take a law changing. They still did it anyway. Now that a judge has signed or whatever, there's just that one more layer of defiance that if we can prove that those PlayStations that continue to not allow people to film in police stations can possibly be sued for that too. And you know, you know how I feel about suing the city. I say they should get triple the amount of money they get, because I take violating people's rights very seriously. I don't think people get punished enough. Degeneration Nation has become a good friend of mine. Text frequently. I'm glad to hear that, man. Yeah, I like his channel. I think it's interesting. We text frequently. I am mod for his streams now. Nice. So now that I have the loop for the most part made, now I've got to decide whether
any ideas.
Okay, I think I know how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to bend them two-dimensionally inward, add the wires together, what am I trying to say? uh, weave the wires together, and then when it's all connected, then I can bend them inward. I can slide this stone in, and then bend it inward. I think. I hope. And I may even have to. I may even have to. This is not going to be easy at all. I really made this a challenge for myself. Get some chocolate milk. It doesn't spread the message. All it did was piss off more cops. I actually like it when cops get pissed off. I prefer that we see the bad ones when they, if they were calm and collected but also still pissed off, then we wouldn't know who they were. So, if it makes them more aggressive, then that just means we have to strike them even harder. I have followed along with all the so-called auditors, people on the inside of check their private chats. Long Island audit couldn't care less about anyone's rights. I mean, even if he didn't care about anyone's rights but himself, his rights, whatever. He's still out there sticking it to the man. Showing cops that they aren't just, able to run all over our rights. And, New York is pretty bad as far as the world is concerned, or statistics, or whatever you want to call it. New York's one of the ones that needs to be taken care of, including, like, Fort Worth is another one. Fort Worth is notorious for fucking, it just seems like every interaction in New York winds up with an arrest. So they're another area that needs to be sued more often, and some people have even pointed out that Fort Worth doesn't get sued enough. I need to pick a better camera angle next time. The followed one. Oh. They aren't the bad ones. Cops are human too. Yeah, and that's kind of part of the problem, is that humans have flaws, and we don't want our cops to have flaws. We want them to be respectful and understand our rights. I personally believe in a strong, strong, even bodily harm punishments for violating rights. I think that if you swore an oath to uphold people's rights, that if you violate that oath, maybe you should have something taken from you that you would want to keep. But thankfully I'm not the one in charge. If it were up to me, if I had ultimate superpowers, I'd probably break the legs of people who violated rights. But I'm just a simple man. I wear glasses like Clark Kent, and he's just a regular guy. Let's see here. Cops are sick of being treated like trash because social media only ever show the bad things. Cops statistically very, very rarely violate anyone's rights. I think that if you even ask for someone's name, even if you knew you didn't need it, I think that's a rights violation. But if cops are sick of of being mistreated, and the media does not bash them, they'll even go as far as not even say the cop's name to protect their name from being posted around the internet or the world or whatever to see. I'm certainly not convinced that the media doesn't do them any favors. Um, the As far as cops being tired of being mistreated, it comes with a job, you know. People who tell other people what to do, even if it is their job, are gonna be, you know, as an example, right? When I was in what was that? Was that must have been middle school? Maybe middle school. Hopefully it wasn't high school. Maybe it was elementary school. At some point in school, I used to I had permission to hold the class after the bell. You know, like everyone's ready to go home, they want to go home, and yet me and my little shithead self decided to have a pointer that I got from a radio. I extended a pointer and I would announce the homework after school. And, you know, and I got shit for it. And rightfully so. I got shit for it because I was doing shit that people were, you know, very displeased with. And as far as like being a cop goes, it's up to them if they want to be respected, you know, you know, you can't demand respect. You have to earn it. And I don't see cops doing a lot to earn respect anymore. There we go. Thankfully, I live in a city, a very small town, and there haven't been any problems whatsoever with filming the courthouse, filming the police station, filming the parks around here, and had a lot of interactions with the police when my neighbor was keying the shit out of my car, and we had a lot of discussions about the First Amendment and other, you know, our rights. And the police here seem to be extremely well versed in our rights and very, very willing to give as much breaks as possible. You know, like a friend of mine could have gone to jail for a very long time, but the judge didn't even give him a bond. You know, he's basically let go without any like real restrictions besides like I guess a probation maybe. And I think anger management class or something like that. But the guy could have gone to jail for terroristic threats, you know, because he's a passionate guy. He got a little upset at a McDonald's and said some things he shouldn't have. But the point is, the police didn't come in there and beat the shit out of him. They handled him the way I would expect our police to. Social media, not major media. Oh, well, social media is certainly the one to look at. I can't stand major media. Even the format of somebody standing or sitting in front of a green screen, you know, repeating what they had just said 20 minutes ago, and basically putting 6 people to the same job that one person could do on a laptop, you know. Asking someone's name, address, age for ID is not rights violation at all. In fact, it's part of their training manual. It doesn't matter if it's part of their training manual. It's people's privacy is supposed to be excuse me. People's privacy is supposed to be protected by our police officials. I don't expect any of them to just give out their home address. No, I really have to, really have to. Not to mention the Constitution needs massive updating. Well, that's part of the problem, is that we don't need to update the Constitution. It just needs to be upheld the way it is. You know, like even one slight law on like restricting ammo in your gun, like it can't be in the chamber, or it has to be somewhere you can't reach right away, or literally any law saying you can't say certain things. You know, like I'm on the extreme side of a lot of things. You know, like if you're gonna have rights, they should be absolute. Technology. Hey, what's up? No bullshit. How's it going? Well, that's why we need to change police manuals. I prefer it when like criminals are in jail, not like regular people. Arrested for all offenses beyond that is of officer discretion, says statistically. Well, we're not really talking about. Hold on 1 second. I think somebody's at my door. I guess somebody was hammering something. Oh. I think the problem that we're facing is that we're not talking about just any cop or all cops or the bad apples. We're talking about the possibility of running into a psychopath that is a cop, you know. And one way to deter psychopaths from being cops is by identifying who they are and punishing them big time. You know, like make it to where that any other psychopath wants to become a cop, they really think twice about, you know, like if they get caught doing something bad, that their whole life is completely destroyed and their family is destroyed. You know, like me, I want pain brought on people who are awful, you know, like awful people who become police officers, you know. Brian Kohlberger was a cop. Oh, cop. Oh, I must have missed something. Yeah. Constitution does not account for modern transportation, modern munitions, population growth. Well, I mean, it accounts for like individual rights, and that doesn't change. You know, like I think what technology introduces is sort of a problem for people's rights, like privacy. If you've got a cell phone, you don't have privacy. You know, you couldn't even ask for privacy if you have a cell phone. The cell phone wouldn't work. You know, like you could still have a cell phone that doesn't track you, but you wouldn't have maps, you know, Google Maps. You wouldn't have search. You wouldn't have location stuff on. You wouldn't have the ability to text or phone. You wouldn't be able to ping the tower. You would have a useless brick of technology that could maybe play music or connect to a computer. You know, it certainly wouldn't be a communications device if you didn't want to be tracked. You know, because even when your phone isn't on and you move to another location and you turn the phone on at another location, you've just turned your tracker back on. You know, it just makes it harder to find you. We all wish there was zero corruption, zero bad cops. That's a given. Well, that's why we have auditing people. Auditing didn't just happen because people were asked to do it. Auditing happened from people who were pissed off about their government overstepping their bounds. And, you know, and what else can you do besides go up there and be obnoxious sometimes? You know, if you're upset about stuff, you can be obnoxious. You know, I don't have any problem with the way anybody audits. I think that if we don't try and find that boundary, like what's his face did, what was his name? He went to jail for threatening a judge or something like that. It wasn't exactly what happened, but I forget his name. Either way, you know, we found out really quick that if we do what that guy did, you're gonna wind up in jail for a long time, right? Like, and we wouldn't know that if he didn't do that. So, as far as the way people audit go, I don't actually truly believe there is a wrong way to audit. The only way to find out if there's a wrong way to audit is if something substantial comes out of it. That guy, he wound up is something close to threatening a judge or something like that. And he wound up having to apologize. He went to jail for a really long time, and everybody talked about it in the community. There was that guy in New York that stole a fruit from a fruit stand, and then tried to hide it. Even paid the guy to say, "Hey, we're friends," and try to hide the fact that he had stolen that piece of fruit. And then people found more. Eric Brandt, yep. No, he did. I'm sorry. Eric Brandt deserved jail 100%. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Oh, he didn't deserve that big of a sentence, but he still deserves jail. I don't even know if he deserved jail because a judge should have pretty thick skin. I think that a judge should have thicker skin than anybody, and that they should understand that their lives can be in jeopardy by being a judge. So it comes with the territory. I don't think Eric Brandt had any way of actually carrying out whatever he was accused of, or at least didn't demonstrate any indication that he was going to carry out whatever threat it was. Now, granted, I don't know exactly what the whole situation was, so I'm just guessing at this point from that. But my point is that we didn't learn, that we did learn something from that incident. Whatever he did, don't do that. And, I pick soft targets. When I go out and I film, I'm as polite as I can be, and some people might say that my method isn't effective at all. But, what I do demonstrate is that there is a way to audit without being disrespectful, and I'm not the only one who does. I just, the ones that do that way don't get a lot of views. You forget, man, I've been part of auditing since the beginning. I watched it grow into something great and then turn into a shitty get-rich-quick scheme. I hope they get money. I hope they do get money, because that is how that works. If the government didn't want to if taxpayers didn't want the government handing out hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, to people's rights being violated, then they better get the fuck off their little comfort zone and actually point a watchful eye at the police, because I want the people to be punished. I want as much punishment as possible. If that person got $5 million, I want them to have $10 million. I want them to have $50 million. You violated that person's right. I want people to feel the hurt from that. I want people to say, whoa, why are my taxes going up? What's going on? Well, the taxes are going up because police are violating people's rights, and they're handing this money away like candy because they don't want to fix the way they do their things. I want politicians to feel the pain. I want their budgets cut. I want the police budgets cut. If they're going to not do their job correctly, then I want them to feel that pain. I want the community to feel that pain. To say, whoa, why can't we afford the parade this year? Oh, right, because such and such cop decided to violate somebody's rights last year, and now we don't have enough money to put towards the community or the roads, things like that. That's at least how I feel about it, and I don't even care if the auditor's a shitty person, because I can't do that role. We need somebody to be shitty. We need somebody to show the cops that you can be a shitty person and still respectfully do your duty, despite them being a shitty person, because you're going to deal with drunk people, you're going to deal with assholes, you're going to deal with old women who are raunchy and they want to get all sexual and stuff, and I want that cop to know how to handle those situations. Let me get some more chocolate milk real quick. Oh, hang on. Yeah, Eric was off the rails. Yeah, he was pretty out there. I remember that one where he was like, fuck the police, and running around on a flag getting chased by a police officer, and the chief came out and was like, stop chasing him, you know, he hasn't broken the law. I'm not talking about getting money by suing, man. These fake ass auditors go out and treat cops like shit just to have an entertaining video. Yeah, I hope they make some money off of it. You know, anything that helps them out. I can't donate. I don't have enough money. You know, most of those auditors that make that money off of the audit videos, they go well above and beyond actually editing their videos and creating a somewhat palatable video for us to watch. Because if you know, like my videos, I'm completely raw. I don't do any editing whatsoever, and they go on for 40 minutes sometimes of me just walking around talking about stupid shit. You know, and I'm not going to get as many views. I certainly don't. The only reason I get any views off of one incident was because I, you know, didn't realize that by putting James Freeman's name in the title means that anytime somebody looks up James Freeman, they're going to get my video up there too. You know, and that didn't mean for that to happen, but if I wanted to get more views, I could, you know, do more of that. But one second, I'm going to get some fucking milk and maybe go to the restaurant. Sorry, I need to make some ice in the camera. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm just going to the bathroom. Okay, Alright, I'm back. Let's see. It's not, 1 second. It does not garner the preservation of rights at all. All it has done is make lawmakers change everything possible to restrict our rights more and more and more. Well, I mean, the response to that would be to challenge it, That's what the Rosa Parks thing was, is like they made a law to make it illegal for black people to, go to the front of the bus or whatever it was. And so, she just simply broke the law, and went to jail for it. So, and then they rescinded the law back to non-discriminatory means. So, when you discriminate against a group, which would be an audit community is a group, then that's grounds for whatever you call it, a case of discrimination. No auditor should be bothering any cops at all. Cops shouldn't be bothered by auditors. No post offices, libraries, private businesses ever auditing should focus on the ones that matter. Well, I mean, I don't think there's any wrong way to audit, really. If you want to audit a McDonald's like that one guy does, he goes out and stands out in front of private businesses and churches, and they freak out too, and it's a different way of auditing, but I don't think he's not teaching us anything. I think that he's not just teaching us things, but he's also teaching the people that stop by. And even if they don't learn anything, even if he doesn't teach them anything, it's still, a good video on the internet. And there's really no, should anything, That's what freedom's all about. People have the right to exercise their rights however they feel, Some people are bolder than others, I sometimes wish that I could talk to cops like some auditors do. I kind of lack the confidence and the ability to look at myself in the mirror after being that way, kind of thing. Sometimes, I couldn't be terrible to somebody. It would make me feel bad. But I also haven't had a lot of really negative experiences. Let's see. Peaceful protests, people expressing their rights only ever go to governor's offices, state capitals, Congress buildings, places. And that's one way to do it. That doesn't mean that everybody has to do it that way. 99.9% of Americans don't give two shits about cops asking your name. And and they have to suffer the consequences of that. If they're not willing to understand their rights, then so be it. It's their right. They care about filming and police stations, all that nonsense. Yeah, and that's entirely possible that they'll never get the wide audience that we need to sort of spread this message around, because YouTube and other means of algorithms basically point away from anybody that doesn't actually look for content. If you're not looking for car repair videos, you'll never see them. I never see car repair videos until I'm actually needing to look at it, and then I got that on my algorithm, so I'll see car videos for a little bit, and then after a little while, if I don't watch anymore, they disappear. So, same with auditing. If you never watch auditing, anything related to auditing, you'll never see it. So, it's not like anybody who's not interested in auditing is actually seeing these videos. Well, at least not on YouTube. I don't know how it works on Facebook. Well, technically, I don't know how it works on YouTube either, but you catch my point. You catch my meaning. You see what I mean. You try walking through it. You'll see what I mean. Well, as long as it's on public property, they can. They do have the right. They have the right to express their rights however, wherever, whenever they want. You know, it says read the Constitution again. That's why you go. That is why going to private business is stupid. Well, if you're on a public sidewalk filming a private business, there's still nothing wrong with that. And people should have no problem with it. It's not protect you from private citizens at all. You can go to a McDonald's film a protest. You cannot go into... No, you can't go into a McDonald's and film. You can ask, you know, but you can't just blatantly... You can go in there and film. They might ask you to leave, you know. They might even have a sign that says, you know, this is private property. We don't... It's wrong? Well, hold on. Well, I don't know if that's wrong, you know. I think a lot of things are wrong too, but that doesn't mean that people can't do it. It just means that you know, if you stand on particular morals and values, not everybody does the same. Like me, I have a huge problem with circumcision. You know, I'm talking about awkward dinner conversations. Considering most of the people that I talk to about it have actually circumcised their own children also. So anything I say that is like negative towards somebody that would circumcise their children will either be by me knowing that they have a child that they've circumcised, or even by me not knowing that they have a child that is circumcised. You know, I have to take the risk. Do I have this conversation? A very uncomfortable conversation where somebody actually might think of me differently had I not had the conversation? You know, everybody has to make that choice as to whether they want to put themselves out there. You know, I'm not going to stand on the street corner and be like, circumcision is mutilation. It is. I don't necessarily think that people don't think that. You know, a lot of people seem to think it's okay to mutilate babies. But your rights are only protects you on traditional public forum. Well, like a sidewalk. Sidewalk's public. And the Constitution doesn't give us our rights. The Constitution restricts government from taking away our already given rights by being born and breathing. I made sure my son was circumcised. Absolutely no way I wouldn't have. Well, I hope he can forgive you about it, you know. Not everybody wanted to be circumcised. You know, it's something that people should be allowed to make the decision for themselves when they're 18. You know, when they're old enough to make that sort of choice. One of my biggest arguments is that, you know, we've got hands, right? We're like where we can actually, you know, clean our baby's genitals when they need to be cleaned, and how they need to be cleaned. You know, what does a dog have to do when they make sure that their baby's genitals are cleaned, right? You can't just leave a baby with a wet, with a wet butt and privates, because it'll get dirty. They'll be rashed up. You know, they'll have skin problems. And so the mother knows that. Even the dad sometimes will know that and will use their mouth. The only thing they have to make sure that their baby's genitals are clean is their mouth. Do you love your child so much that you would use your mouth if you didn't have hands? You know, and that's a personal question that you'd answer yourself. I don't need to know the answer to that. But I just think that people would, if they loved their children so much, that they would make sure that their child's genitals were clean. Oh, hang on, I missed something. That's where most people get it wrong. The Constitution is nothing but a permission slip. It's not, though. The Constitution has not, the Constitution isn't for us. It's for the government. It's to make sure that there's restrictions on the government curtailing those rights. That's why it says, we the people find these truths to be evident. Like, it doesn't need to be written down, kind of thing. I bet this music is so loud. I haven't checked on the stream in a while. Let me just turn it down. Put it at 4, I guess. There we go. The hell? Why is this not working? Well, I hope that's true. I certainly hope that's true. Because what choice does he have, right? Doesn't know what it's like to have an intact penis. And he can't get it back even if he wanted to. So, it's pretty easy to say, oh, I'm glad it happened to me. I'm not a victim when I say that. If I were to say that I was unhappy that it happened, then I would be a victim. And so it's really a moot point when people say, I'm glad to be circumcised, because you didn't have the choice. Now, if you weren't circumcised and you decided to have it done under your own volition when you were 18, that would be an argument. If you were to say, I'm glad that I had it done because, such and such benefit after having it for so long. But if you were already circumcised and the only thing that you can do is just deal with it, then it's hardly worth. It's hardly an argument, because all that time you could have just made sure that your genitals were clean, like a responsible parent. And that's why I'm saying, like the circumcision conversation, I'm not afraid to have it, and it does make for uncomfortable conversations for sure. The Constitution is a permission slip by virtue of restricting what the government can penalize a person for. Well, yeah, but it doesn't mean that we're given those rights because the Constitution says so. It just means that the Constitution acknowledges those rights. Like the right to whatever it was, peace and happiness or whatever. Life, liberty, and happiness. That's what it was. Man, I really hope this works. Once he learned the pros and cons, he was thankful. Well, I mean, like I said, what choice does he have? He can either be thankful or live in misery. You know, it's not really much of a choice when he didn't have the choice to begin with. You know, if he learned the pros and cons and then when he was 18 he did it himself, that would be understandable, right? Like, because you can hardly be mad at your dad for not mutilating you, because you can just have the mutilation done later. But if you've already done the mutilation and your child says, I really wish you didn't do that, well, tough. Where's the choice here? The only way you can have the child have the ability to make the choice is if you wait to mutilate until they're able to make that decision on their own, Just because we exist, if there are anyone, we have no rights just because we exist. If that were true, anyone could come here and be protected by the Constitution. I'm not saying I agree, I'm just saying that's how it is. Oh, whoops, hang on. Well, I mean, just because it's so, like, if we were to go down that far, then those, it would be my counter argument to that would be we're still born with those rights. It's just whether the government acknowledges it. It's you still have the right or the ability to go and harm somebody, but that doesn't mean that people are going to let you get away with it. Oh yeah, abortion's another topic entirely. Like, um it's kind of like how women really don't have the choice in terms of whether or not they can get pregnant. They would have to, you know, they would have to either choose to keep their legs closed or, like, run the risk of having a baby. And that's not fair to anybody, especially the baby. But let's see how I'm doing on this pendant here. What I'm doing is I'm trying to wrap the wire around the frame there. Pro-choice. Yeah, I think it's a matter of whether or not, it's in terms of there's really nothing we can do about a woman wanting to abort, and making it illegal is somewhat of a dubious thing because, freedoms and all. But as far as like child's rights go, I think it's pretty messed up that someone would do that. Just irresponsibly go ahead and have a child, or go ahead and have sex that could possibly lead to a child, barring any unnatural circumstances like forced pregnancy and all that. But as far as like being able to freely do it, hey, I'm all about freedom. I just think it's pretty messed up to just have that sort of thing happen. It's like you know, sucks to be a woman. Let's see here. I definitely need to get a better angle on this camera. Oh, goodness. Oh. Oh. Pro-choice. I'm pro-responsible. Pro holding people responsible for their actions. Yeah. I think that there should be at least some form of punishment. But at the same time, you know, I certainly don't want to put myself in the position to make that choice of whether it should be legal or not. You know, if I don't think that it's fair for the baby to be punished for something that they had no control over. And that even begs the question, you know, if there's something wrong with the baby before it's born, you know, is it right to abort those? You know, like who's going to be willing to put down the time, money, and effort into taking care of a child that will never be able to take care of itself? So, you know, that is definitely an interesting, or certainly what do you call it, one of those hot topics. Fake auditors on many levels. Hate these people ruined what I took part in building. Well, I mean, I don't know if you've like watched a lot of audit commentary videos that are on the positive light, you know, because there's obviously going to be both sides to the argument. But like as far as people learning their rights and stuff like that, I think that the audit community has come a long way in how they handle themselves, especially after Eric Brandt. After Eric Brandt, a lot of auditors chilled the fuck out or disappeared. You know, I think some of the worst ones haven't been around in a while. I know that that one auditor that stole the fruit, you know, he kind of stopped showing his ugly face into the world, mostly after he got exposed by the audit community for being a thief. You know, yeah, if you're gonna be in part of any group, don't be a part of the group that holds police accountable. It's like because we have experience with holding people accountable. I personally like Here's the Deal. And I don't think he's done any audits. You know, he's just commentator, and I really like what he has to say. I listen to a lot of Good Luck America. That guy has a lot of good points. I would actually vote for him for president if he ran for president. And you know, he's a former police officer, ranger, or whatever you call it. You know, and he makes a lot of really good points. Commentating. In fact, I guess Good Luck America doesn't really do commentary on audit videos exclusively. He does commentary on really anything to do with the police. Most are full of shit, I guess. I'm not sure. I certainly didn't really like Gavin Seam when I was coming in. Gavin Seam seemed like a little over the top. Now I don't feel that way. Now I feel like, you know, he certainly suffered the consequences of his choices, but I also don't think the cops should have been the way they were. Basically ran him out of the country, or at least he felt like he was. Yeah, we learned a lot from Eric Brandt. Yeah. Yeah, and the beautiful thing about auditing is that every single person is an individual. There's no like book on what a proper audit is or what's supposed to come of it. You know, everybody has their different reasons for holding their government accountable. Some people are victims, really badly affected victims of police brutality and police misconduct, or police lying about stuff. And I think those are the most important ones to go out there and hold the police accountable, because I don't want somebody who's going to go suck their dick all the damn time. Oh, the police are just doing their job. You know, we have to listen to them, what they say, and you know, case law says this, and it's just like, no, I don't care what case law says. You know, like if you haven't broken the law, then it should be a clear cut case, and the police officer should be absolutely punished strongly. I mean, like double anything that any punishment a normal person would have gotten for whatever they did should be doubled, and then tripled for those who didn't do anything to stop it. Gavin Seam wasn't really an auditor per se. Had a lot of good points, but he also went about some things the wrong way. Well, I don't know about the wrong way. There's certainly no wrong way. So, whether or not executing your plan worked or not. Yeah, he was a bit over the top, that's for sure. And a lot of people liked him. That's worth pointing out. There was also Zebra, Tom Zebra. Is that what his name was? I haven't seen a lot of him lately. These last few years. Although there's no telling who I've blocked when I decided that I didn't like the audit community. Because I crisscrossed a few times where I was first like completely anti-police, and then anti-police pro auditing, and then I was, somewhat auditing, somewhat pro police, and then I was like totally anti-auditing for a long time, where I watched like Degeneration Nation and things like that, and I was really sympathetic to the police and their plight and whatnot. And then I kind of found the middle ground where I'm just like, okay, all right, I can get down with this both sides. Some people have points, that kind of thing. I think a lot of people who are discouraged by the auditing community have their own reasons for feeling that way. Tom Seaver backed off a lot after he got together with Denise Lynn. Denise. That sounds familiar. No, you don't want to standardize things, because if everybody did it the same way, we wouldn't learn anything. The fact that there's no standardized anything means that it can grow and it can spread and it can change and become better. If you say this is what an audit is and this is how you perform it, people are just gonna say fuck the standardized thing. I'm gonna do it the way I want it. And it wouldn't even matter then at that point anyway. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know Denise died. Yeah, those are the OGs of the auditing community. I wonder whatever happened to News Now Houston. I haven't seen a new video from him in a while that I know of. Like I said, I'm not subscribed to him or anything. Prison for 20 years? Oh, did that finally happen, huh? Doing a live stream. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I remember something vaguely like that. OGs of the auditing community. Yeah, you've certainly been in it for a long time, that's for sure. Yeah, I still go out and do audits every once in a while. Clash with Bao turned into nothing but a complete asshole. I mean, I thought he already was. I never really liked Clash with Bao. Not that he, he can do it however he chooses to, but it certainly wasn't popular with me. Complete asshole, out for money. Didn't they do like some weird degrading thing to get donations for the whole incident? I'm not really sure about James Freeman. I actually I don't even know. I don't think I'm subscribed. All that jail time. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. It might have been obnoxious, but if he wasn't breaking the law, then he shouldn't have been fucked with. Got in jail for months for nothing, no court date, none of that. They just kept finding excuses to hold him, then finally let him go. Yeah, it sounds like they created a reason to go out and audit. To find those cops out and call them out. Cops didn't do themselves any favors by doing that. As far as making money from their channels, Brian King, if they're the ones putting their necks out on the line, and they're the ones who have to face like court fees and whatnot, have to be the ones to do the editing, the traveling, the expenses, the equipment, things like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with them getting paid for doing all that, especially considering they're the ones actually getting paid voluntarily. Their subscribers, the few subscribers who can, donate to them. And I don't see why anybody would have any problem with that, considering that's like a supply and demand issue. It's kind of like what freedom is all about. I guess if you're jealous of them making money, that would, I guess, are you jealous of them making money from their YouTube stuff? I don't know. When he got out, he stopped auditing and did like a talk show kind of thing. Treating people like shit. Oh yeah, did he get anywhere with it? I hope he did. Some of those things are pretty popular. Tim and Eric Awesome Show or whatever that was. And there was that other guy who'd, he'd like to, I guess, tend to shoot his audience. Editing is hard. I may not even if it isn't hard, it's time consuming. It's a lot of work. To get the video palatable. Maybe have a little bit of music in the background. Introduction and all that. I do not agree with going out and treating cops, post office workers, librarians, meter maids, private business owners, etc. Well, I don't know a lot of auditors that treat the people like shit. I'm even trying to think of any example where an auditor was actively like seeking out people to harass without being harassed first. I watch a lot of the big ones, so like I don't think Long Island Audit has ever harassed anybody without being prompted, or and even if they do harass people without being prompted, it's still taxpayer money. They need to just do their jobs. I work at a gas station. You know what happens. What happens to me if I tell my boss I'm not doing that. I get punished. Could even be fired for saying I'm not doing that. I'm telling you your job is to do this, and if I say I'm not doing that, then there's got to be consequences for that. And as far as bystanders go, I really, they really can just go fuck themselves. If you're just a regular citizen out there and you get all offended from being videotaped or whatever, I'm not gonna about to tell you to shut your mouth or, calm down. I want the world to see what kind of person you are. I think that it's really silly to act that way after there's a camera on you. Or to act that way even if you don't think there's a camera on you. Not jealous of that. I could have easily did the same thing. I'm the only auditor in a city of 1 million people. I don't know what fake auditor means, because if they're out there filming and catching attention and educate, it doesn't even matter if they're educating people. It doesn't even matter if they don't get any reactions or get all the reactions they want. There's no fake auditing. There's no fake, exercising your rights. I guess if you were going around even if you were carrying a fake gun, that wouldn't be not exercising your Second Amendment rights, because despite the gun being fake, you're still getting the same reactions as though it's real. So, it's a moot point to say you're not doing it right, because there's no wrong way to do it. Maybe you would do it differently. Maybe I would do it differently. But that doesn't mean that it's fake. That's like saying, what is that like saying? That's like saying, can't think of an example. Well, I don't think that there is a proper way to audit. Really just go out there, film, and see what happens. If you catch police doing the right thing, that's one thing. If you catch police doing the wrong thing, that's another thing. It's really a hit or miss. Like you may never come across. For me, like coming across police never freaking happens. Because I go in there, I'm respectful, I don't cause any issues. I just film the walls, and I never get any issue. Other people do that too. They go in there, they just film the walls, and they get shit. So I don't, I don't think there's like really a way to measure that sort of thing unless you have like, your own personal goals. Like if your own personal goal is to just film and go and to leave, then I would say all of my audits are pretty successful. Auditing was not built on treating people like shit. I don't think that it would be wrong for people to treat other people like shit. I think a lot of the people that you see treating people like shit only starts happening after the employees start treating people like shit. Because it's pretty easy, like Degeneration Nation is an example of this. You catch up halfway through the story where everybody's already amped up, the auditor's sick of what's going on, so they're amped up, and police are amped up, you know, and makes for entertaining videos, you know, and yeah, actually that's a good point. Do you think that Degeneration Nation doesn't make money off of his videos? Because wouldn't that mean that he's making money off of the same, like, genre? Oh, well. Then what would the right way to do it be? Because if the right way to do it is to not get any reaction, then what's the point? The point is to find people who are going to react. You know, you don't want to make a video or go, you don't want to go into a situation and it be boring. Then we didn't find anybody who's worth firing. I would hope to find bad police and bad employees so that we can expose them. Or so that they can be exposed, I should say. Well, I guess I imagine not, because they're taken from other channels, I suppose. And I imagine that the community is a little different in there than it is in the audit community. Audit community is very eager to step in and donate. I don't know how eager people are to donate to Generation Nation. Not that that means anything towards his like ability to make videos. I'm just saying the crowd is different. The audience is probably very different. Less willing to be um, decent about people exercising their rights. Because I've seen the comments section just like anybody else, just like any other channel. Not a lot of nice things to say. It's kind of like the left and right dichotomy of politics. Oh, Republicans this, oh, Democrats that. If you look at the comments section, they're completely the same. You know, they're both shitting on each other, on the other side. And it doesn't matter what the other side says. They're both going to be saying the same things. Oh, Republicans are stupid. Oh, Democrats are stupid. And if both of them are saying the same thing. Oh, that's not good. What the? Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, wow, 2.5 hours, huh? Oh. Let's at least finish this part right here. Then I think I'll take a break. And won't change, huh? Well, right. I know I've changed my idea about auditing many times. Certainly even about other things like religion and such. Like I'm way more chillaxed about religion than I used to be. Yeah, I definitely need to change the damn angle of the camera next time I go live. Well, so far so good. We'll see how this turns out. I have to make adjustments. I didn't realize that mouse is not flat. Well, I mean, Brian, it's its own amalgamation of many mutually functioning multi-celled organisms. The auditing community is not just going to be swayed by one person, at least not one person who's, you know, especially not somebody who's not even like, making videos and stuff like that. Like, that'd be like me saying, if I continue on the path I'm going, then I can make a difference in the community. The only difference I can make is saying to people in the outside world, hey, this whole thing exists. You should totally introduce yourself to it, or I can introduce you to it, to my, I could do it. And that way you can be aware. But as far as like making legislation and making laws change and things like that, I'm just a little guy. I don't have the financial wares or the fortitude to make that sort of commitment. And so I have to rely on those who really can or are willing to, even if they aren't able to make that change. And all I can do is support them, if they're worth supporting, that is. Damn it. God, I hope this thing fucking comes out okay. God damn it. So, there we go. That's quite all right, Brian. There's really no need to save them, so it's fine. There's it's a always evolving community, and it's just evolved, I would say it's more connected than ever due to those channels that just like here's the deal, and even audit the audit. What else? No, there's still plenty of those channels. Audit rewind. Lackluster, that kind of thing. But I think I'm gonna get off the stream here. It's already been almost 3 hours. I'm getting where I need to stand up and walk around. Maybe even take a shower, I guess. So I'm just gonna. It's always good to see you there, Brian King. Hopefully, if I don't wind up finishing this Pendant off stream, then I'll probably be back on later. But I'm gonna lean towards this me not doing the live stream later because it's already 7. So God, my freaking mustache is like Thor. I think I slept weird. It's developed. That's why there's been so many anti-auditor related laws, case law statutes. Well, they can't hold because it's against the Constitution. So it's a sword and shield. So it's gonna have shitty cops trying to shitty cops and prosecutors and government officials trying to stifle our rights. But unless we go out and expose them, it's never gonna be changed. That's why Long Island Audit. Oh, that's why Long Island Audit did a huge service for us by exposing that guy getting that judge to make them take down the signs and whatnot. Okay, man. Well, you can always text me for sure, man. I'll talk to you soon. Alrighty, bye bye. Love you guys. This will not be able to reconnect.